there, my name is Ashley and I'm a homeschooling mom to one. And this video is in collaboration with Lyndsay over at Love Them Well and Jennifer at Family of Three Homeschool. And we're going to talk about growing as a homeschool mom. When they came to me with this idea, it reminded me of professional development. So in my previous life, I was a teacher. I taught for 13 years in public school, and professional development was just something we did every year. It helped us learn and grow as an educator. And the nerd that I am absolutely loved it. Now, not all of them are great, but I did learn a lot. They taught me so many things and gave me so many tools, so I was able to go back and implement them in my classroom and be a better teacher. And so I don't want that learning to stop just because I'm not in the classroom anymore. And so even as a homeschool mom, there are places that I go to get encouragement and inspiration. And there are places that I go that help me be a better homeschool mom teacher. So teaching ideas and ideas that I haven't thought of. And so those are the things that we're going to share with you today. So there will be a playlist and I will link it down below. And you'll definitely want to go check those out. So if you need some ideas or some encouragement, there are places to go. So let's just kind of start on the idea of inspiration and encouragement, because we can all use that at some time. And there are just some places that I always turn to when I need some encouragement. Normally it's a podcast, and I love to go listen to Julie Bogart. She is over Brave Writer, and I love her podcast. There is always something on there that is encouraging and uplifting, and it usually gives me good ideas and makes me feel better about the job I'm doing as a homeschool mom. The other podcast I really enjoy is Sage Family Podcast. Now they are unschoolers, but the whole podcast really isn't about just unschooling. She has some wonderful sessions to listen to, and I always leave feeling good. And so that's kind of what you want with inspiration. You're going to learn something new from both of them. They're both amazing. And those are really my go-to podcasts when I'm looking for those kind of things. Along those same lines, there are two books that I always turn to. I'm always like, what did Julie Bogart say about this? And what did Rachel Rainbolt say in Sage Homeschooling? And so I'm going to show you those two books. I've mentioned them before. This book, The Brave Learner, I've probably read about 4 times at this point. It has highlight marks in it, but it's amazing. If you're new to homeschooling, or even if you've been in homeschooling for a while, this is great. You might want to read this. It just helps you love learning again, and ways to help your kids love learning. So this is one of my go-tos. And my other go-to is Sage Homeschooling. Rachel Rainbolt of Sage Family Podcast. This is wonderful. It talks about not worrying about gaps and just all kinds of wonderful things. So it's highlighted in as well. So I'm always referring back to these books when I need some encouragement. Now, let's also talk about, where do I go to when I need teaching ideas, because we still have to deliver this information to our kids. And there may be a time that your kids are stuck on something, or you're stuck and you're like, how am I going to teach them about this? There are places that I always go to. I know the majority of you that follow me use Gather Round or Campfire. And so the first place that I always go when I'm getting ready to prepare a unit is I go to the Gather Round app. If you are not a part of that free app, you need to be. It is amazing. That is where you're going to find a chat section for every one of the units. So when you're right there in the throes of doing one of their units, you can chat with other families that are doing the exact same thing. And people share photos and they share videos, and it's amazing. But one of the things I really like about it are the resources. When you join that community, you get the chat feature, and then you get the resources. And on the resources, you're going to find a book list. You're going to find lesson plan pages if you want to write stuff down. But the other thing is they go week by week, lesson by lesson, and they have all kinds of things on there. If you need a video for lesson 1 of Antarctica, there's probably one on there. If you need an art project or a website, there's probably one on there. And the other great thing about it is, if you find something that's really awesome, you can share it with them by tagging the moderator, and they'll add it to that list. So that is the first place I go. If you are new to Gather Round, or you've been using Gather Round and you didn't know about the app, go today. As soon as you watch this video, you can get to it from your desktop or from a device. I'll put the link for the desktop version down in the description box. But that is my go-to. That gives me ideas that I haven't thought of. And a lot of times when you see what other parents are doing, you're like, oh, I haven't thought of it that way. And so you're going to get some great ideas just from being on that app. Another place that I like to go as far as curriculum help and teaching ideas are Facebook groups. There's two that I've been a part of for a while, and so that's the Gather Around Homeschool community, and then I'm also part of the Campfire Crew. Those are both great places. There are tons of people using it. You're going to get so many ideas, and they're so helpful. You're going to find something you need there. If you just don't know how to print it, or you don't know which notebook to print for your kid, or you need some ideas, or something's not working, those are places to go to get you the help that you need. So whatever curriculum that you use, see if there's a Facebook group for it. I actually just found the Simply Charlotte Mason group, which I'm super pumped about because I am going to be adding some of that stuff into our homeschool year. And so they have been so helpful with all the many questions I have, just with the stuff that I'm adding into our year. So always check those things out. Another thing you want to do if you need some help or some inspiration or anything related to homeschool, this right here, YouTube, is an amazing resource. I have learned from so many other homeschool moms here on YouTube. And also there are wonderful channels like Brave Writer and Simply Charlotte Mason that have videos that you can watch, because I love watching a video. The Simply Charlotte Mason, if you're interested in putting some of those principles into your school year, their YouTube channel is amazing. There are how-to videos, there's videos on core principles, just tons of videos. And the note taker that I am just sits and listens and takes notes. They're amazing. So those are like the places that I go to for all those ideas. So if you're stuck, those are good places to go. If you can't find one and you want me to help you find a Facebook group for whatever curriculum you use, or if you need help with the app or something like that, let me know, because I'll be glad to help you. The last thing I want to mention is something I just heard about, and this is absolutely brand new. It is called Homeschool Hall, and I'm going to put the link to it down in the description box. Now, like I said, it is just starting up. So when you go to it, you're not likely to find exactly what you're looking for right now. But I know that once this gets rolling, it's going to be an amazing resource for homeschool families, not just beginning homeschool families, but for homeschool families in general. So Homeschool Hall is going to be like this huge homeschool directory where you can search your area for homeschool sports, groups, co-ops, whatever, field trips, all that. It's going to be a place to connect homeschoolers. You can sign up for a free basic account. There are going to be some levels that you can check out if you do want to pay to join that site, but there is a free basic account, and you just put in your area and stuff comes up. Now, of course, I put in my state and it wasn't ready yet, and that's okay because I know that they're beginning, but I want you to be aware of it because I know this is going to just grow, and it's going to be a great resource for you. So that's everything that I use to be inspired, to get my teaching ideas. I try to keep it pretty simple. I know my go-to places, and those are my go-to places. Where are some of the places you go to grow as a homeschool mom? Who do you like to listen to? What books do you like to read? What websites do you find helpful as a homeschool mom? Share those in the comments, because I like to read through people's comments, and somebody's going to find your comment helpful. So definitely share those places down there in the comments. And I forgot, I do have one more thing to say. One other place to get encouragement and to learn is to go to a homeschool convention. And I know I've talked about this before. I came back from Teach Them Diligently, and I'm like, you've got to go. If you can get to a homeschool conference, that is another place to learn from so many moms, so many encouraging people. Try to do that. You're going to get all kinds of information, pretty much to the point that you're going to be overwhelmed. But you can come back and kind of decompress, and you can figure it all out. So that was my last point, actually. And I'll put a link also in the description box where you can get $5 off your ticket for Teach Them Diligently if you're interested. So that'll be down there too. Now, I'm for real going this time. And like I said, leave everything in the comments. If you have any questions about the things I talked about today, about Gather Round, Campfire, Homeschool, whatever, leave them in the comment section. And as always, thank you so much for watching.